Kristen, thank you. A first alert investigation in Wrightstown. Action 2 News obtains public records showing the school district's former interim superintendent released classified information.
Ron Saari resigned in August after being placed on administrative leave in May. Emily Byer live in Wrightstown this morning. And Emily, you've been in contact with Saari this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tammy and Emerson. Yeah, if you've been following us this morning, you know we've been looking into the concerns that led to Ron Saari's leave from the district. We've taken a closer look into an investigation into his performance that shows mishandling of public records. I said I'd been in contact here this morning with Ron Saari. He has just sent over a statement that reads in part, quote, Mr. Saari consulted with legal counsel once the error was identified in an effort to appropriately remedy the issue. The record requester communicated twice, verbally and in writing, that he destroyed the confidential information. Mr. Saari also created a new process to prevent the mistake from occurring in the future, end quote. 42 incidents were referenced in the documents under factual findings in this investigation. Under the handling of public records requests, it states that shortly after Saari was hired, the district received a public records request for the previous superintendent, Andy Space's personal file. The district's legal team helped to fill that initial request, including the redaction of certain confidential information, which is exempt under Wisconsin's public records law. Around February 7th, the district received a second request for Space's file. On February 12th, Saari fulfilled that request by making a copy of the complete personal file without any redactions. Now, we've confirmed the information that was released included Space's social security number along with his personal banking information. As for the search for the next permanent superintendent, the school board tells me that they look forward to interviewing candidates at the start of the new year. We'll send it back to you.